No, you wanted me to take off the happy mask, and the happy mask is off. So answer me this one question, because this is what I've been wanting to ask you, Joe. Why are you with me?
Casey.
Why are you with me? Because I don't know why I'm still with you. I mean, I used to know, but I don't anymore.
I'll make a note of that.
But I do know, Joe, I feel like I'm Josephine Potter's little charity project. I feel like I'm the designated loser. Just
Casey.
back off!
Casey, I never said that. Look, this isn't about me. This is about you.
It is about you. It's about you and how you make me feel when I'm with you. Okay? I feel like I'm stupid and I'm worthless and I'm never right. But you know what I realized? That is not my fault. That is not my fault. Because when I'm with you, it's poor Pacey. He didn't get into college. And it's stupid Pacey forgot the limo and ripped the dress and messed up the corsage.
I told you I didn't care about any of it.
But I want you to care. I want you to care. I don't want you to just accept it like that's the way it's supposed to be. We are not trapped on this boat. You and I are trapped in this relationship. I can't take it anymore, Joey. When I'm with you, I feel like I'm nothing. I feel like I'm nothing. That's why I flinch when you go to touch me. It's why I never touch you, why I never even think about it. Because when I start to, it just reminds me that I'm not good enough.
You done?
Done? Oh, no, I'm not done. I am just getting started.
No, you can stop right now. You can go to hell.
This season of Dawson's Creek wraps up what I consider to be 4 of the most perfect seasons of television when viewed as a whole, considering season 4 ends with an episode called Coda, and it feels like a literal coda. Things feel far more lyrical in this season, musical almost, or at least it makes those musical components of earlier seasons more visible, especially when we're ending with a coda most frequently or most usually being used in a piece of music as a motif to end some sort of symphony or ballad. And that's certainly what most of this season feels like. I would also like to start this video off by saying if you haven't watched my Season 3 analysis video, Dawson's Creek Season 3, A Closer Look, please do. I consider it to be one of my very best videos. I actually find my insight to be really valuable, and I also consider it, since, I'm sorry if you're getting tongue-tied already, God, I just finished my rewatch of Season 4, and I'm a little emotionally drained, but I think that's the best time to record something like this, so that's why I'm already getting tongue-tied. But I think Season 3 is the best season of Dawson's Creek that there is. And I think it's incredibly important. Of course, Season 3 is about Pacey rejecting the narrative. It's probably the most postmodern season of television ever. And it's unique in its postmodern triumph, because, of course, this show created by Kevin Williamson, his vision, even though he would never admit it, is he's a postmodern sentimentalist. He is Frank Capra of Capeside, and in Season 3, Pacey rejects the narrative, rejects the confines of teen soap melodrama, and refuses to play by those rules. Now, of course, Season 4, Pacey and Joey come back. People like to view this season as what happens after Happily Ever After, and that's a perfectly valid way to view the season. But it's very interesting watching Joshua Jackson's performance through it, and I'd like to think that this was all conscious too, from the writer's room to Joshua's craft as an actor. He's even called, like, he's walking through life as a Stepford boyfriend kind of thing, and I think he's doing that from the moment he gets off that ship, because when he's on the ship he says, "Why are we going back to Capeside?" and he goes through a list of things like, you know, lives ruined, bloodshed, like he goes through it, and it's exactly what happens throughout the season. Like, he knows it's going to happen. Of course he is. He's the postmodern punk rock rebel who rejected the narrative, and now he's going back and feels like he must surrender to it. The major themes of this season are about social and sexual inadequacy. Let me just be really frank and maybe really, like, intimate here. I relate to Pacey so much. I wasn't the best in school, right? But I was smart as a whip. I was like really witty. If you can imagine me in school through Dawson's Creek archetypes, I was a lot like Pacey Witter with kind of the nastiness or like a casual cruelty of an Abby Morgan, which by the way I've worked on and I'm doing a lot better. But I was like that. I mean I dropped out and got my GED. I mean I saw everything as facile and artificial there, from the people to the teachers to the exercises to the lessons. So everything is fake. I was a postmodern brat in my own way, like Pacey Witter is. But Pacey, it's like Joshua Jackson is not necessarily sleepwalking, but he's completely fulfilling his archetypal role, which is something that Pacey was so against in the season previous. And it's almost like that character is sleepwalking, or at least literally painting by numbers to fulfill his role as a boyfriend. But you get the feeling from the performance and definitely from the writing that he's internalizing all of this self-hate, all of this self-doubt, and it's kind of incredible to see unfold in one of the best episodes of Dawson's Creek ever, episode 20 of season 4. It's called Promisid, which let's really enjoy that pun work. I'd love to start a punk band named Promisid, but Promisid is one of the best episodes of Dawson's Creek, and it is there that Pacey returns. I included a clip at the beginning of this video. That's where he screams that he's not a charity case, he's not an archetype, and like he already abandoned this. What is he going to do here? And Joey should live in Dawson's narrative, in Dawson's sentimentalist narrative, because it has success for her. I feel so much for Pacey, especially in the episode where Drew takes him to a dive bar and goes, well, I guess I just wanted to show you this. This is what you're gonna end up like, salt of the earth people, hard workers, but like dirtbags, essentially. I mean, that's my life. That's my life, and I resent that. I resent that. I resent that incredibly. So Pacey is just so incredibly relatable here, especially with the currency, with the value that all of these teen shows that I love, or I guess probably that are ever made, the value that it puts on college, higher education, on success is just so high. And Pacey sees it as so facile, but also at the same time he sees it as impossible, because he's made it a point to live a certain rebellious lifestyle with a certain philosophical attitude, that at the point where he realized that the real world doesn't bend to his postmodern whims and he's going to be a loser, like it's truthful. He's going to be one. It's too late to change it. It really is. And I vibe with that so much. It's so sad. As like Joey says, at least Joey did learn from her postmodern adventures, from rejecting the original narrative in season 3. She learned that all we are is a population of memories, some wonderful and endearing, some less so. So, I mean, if we had if you have a spectrum of postmodernism, and on the deconstructionist side, we do have Dawson. We do have Dawson on the deconstructionist side, but on the new sincerity side, that's where Pacey Witter resides. That's absolutely where he resides. There were some decent characters in here who were just seasoned characters. I love Gretchen. Gretchen is so fucking hot, it's ridiculous. Dawson does not deserve her. Gretchen is ridiculously hot, and I feel like she was sidelined as the season continued, though. Which is what happens to love interests of Dawson Leary. They get sidelined for the benefit of Dawson's own self-made filmic narrative he's working out for himself. Everybody is a background player. And I think in like the last episode or something, the center of Dawson's universe is made up of very particular women on pedestals, and she just became a pedestal in the narrative. She started off as a very interesting character. Gretchen was lovely to see. Drew Valentine, I know that they even mentioned this on the show, remember Abby Morgan, and I know that the writers said like there was a huge Abby Morgan-sized hole in the show when Abby left. Abby Morgan's my favorite character on Dawson's Creek, hands down. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love Abby Morgan. I would marry her if I could. I swear, dude. I think she's funny, witty. She had so much heart. A lot of Dawson's Creek fans hate her, and I refuse to accept their worldview. Abby Morgan was perfect. And I saw a lot of myself in her as well. As I said, I had some casual cruelty in high school, and even they deserve empathy. But obviously, Drew Valentine is an analog of that nature. Drew Valentine is the Abby Morgan of this season, down to his infatuation with Jen Lindley. I do not like Drew Valentine. I find him very boring. I find him incredibly contrived, where Abby Morgan felt perfectly theatrical. I mean, there's a difference between theatricality and something that is contrived. And Abby Morgan had a flair for the dramatic, but Drew Valentine just feels forced is really what I'm saying, except for when he's fucking with Pacey. I wish there were more Pacey and Drew moments, because I think that Drew really exposed the heart of what was fucking up Pacey so much during the season. He exposed it so well for us before it eventually exploded in Promisid. Um, so yeah, more Pacey and Drew is really my entire criticism of that. Drew Valentine probably needed to exist, but everything he could do, Abby could do better. I think I made a meme that was, those, like, mom, can we have Abby Morgan? And then mom says, we have Abby Morgan at home. And then the Abby Morgan at home is just an extra pixelated image of Drew Valentine giving a stupid Drew Valentine look. I'm not the biggest fan of Drew Valentine. Actor was fine. Nothing against the actor. It's just the function of the character. But this is postmodern sentimentality at its best. There's something perfectly sentimental and something incredibly postmodern and sexy about Pacey alone at the graduation with his like feet up on those lawn chairs. Just, I accomplished this, and this is my accomplishment. This is my Harvard. I did it. But when we get to that coda, that's really where it gets interesting too, because I was starting to I'm like, well, what more could we do? That was such a wonderful ending, and the coda absolutely figured it out. But before I get there, I just want to say once again that like Promisid is so important, because Pacey and Jen is also in the episode Promisid. That's when Drew Valentine is trying to keep her from essentially pulling an Abby Morgan. Like, she almost went out the way Abby Morgan did. She almost got drunk and fell off something and drowned, most likely. Like, that's what you're led to believe would happen. That's the violent implication of how drunk Jen was. And I think both of those characters, their archetypes are ending. This is postmodern deconstructionism with a sentimental attachment to it. This is a perfect example of it. Pacey and Jen's archetypes are ending, and they are rebelling against that fact. They're like replicants, realizing that that the limit is up and that they have to die. In high school films, like, you don't see the Pacey, you don't see the class clown, like the class moron. I don't mean to say moron, but you don't see the troublemaker live. It's not supposed to. Jen, the beautiful blonde stranger from New York, the dangerous, oversexed vixen. These characters, these archetypes, they don't make it out of high school. They get transformed, or they're supposed to die, or they're forgotten and never thought of again. Their archetypes are ending, which explains their mutual outbursts. They both implode in their own ways in Promisid, and Promisid is incredibly important for that. But that coda is very interesting, especially when Jen and Dawson are saying goodbye to each other, and there's a bunch of mirroring from previous seasons. Wit, we like that around here. Geography is destiny. Of course, mirroring the first time that Jen and Dawson ever met each other. I think that's a wonderful moment. And of course, this season ends with Dawson and Joey watching E.T. one last time. And of course, Daydream Believer, which I consider to be the most significant musical cue of the entire show, possibly more significant than I Don't Want to Wait by Paula Cole. Daydream Believer, I think it's one of the most beautiful moments of season 3. I cover that in the video, where Pacey is in love with Joey, but he has to watch Dawson and Joey sing Daydream Believer as a duet during karaoke. And he leaves the room out of refusal, out of rebellion, but it's also disgust. And it's also self-hate and self-doubt because they look perfect together, because that's the way it's supposed to be, Pacey. You're not supposed to ruin the sentimental narrative. That's not what you're supposed to do, but of course he has to, because true love, and because that's his true nature. But Daydream Believer kicks in because that's their song, and they kiss by the window, and it's beautifully silhouetted to mirror the ending of the first season. And also to mirror the ending of the very first pilot episode. The Coda was actually quite incredible. This was an incredible season. I was getting worried. There are moments where the show buys into its own conceit, but it would have to, right? If season 3 completely rejected the narrative, there's not much you can do after you reject something. That's the problem with postmodern art and postmodern philosophy. Most people who practice postmodern art and postmodern philosophy, they can do deconstruction really well. They can tear something down. But only people, acolytes of Kevin Williamson, can really know how to inject a new sincerity into something. That new sincerity is going to look a whole lot like sentimentality, because if postmodernism can prove anything, it's that meaning, wherever you can find it, is ultimately contrived. It's fake. It's forced. That's what meaning is. But you can't live a life without meaning, so some things have to be idealized to have any sort of ideal at all. If our lives are made up of memories, memories are ideals that make us up, those things that you can't help but believe in, that make you who you are, those are memories. And those are how we interpret them, how we've deconstructed them to fit into our worlds, and how our worlds inform everything about us. I mean, it's all contrived meaning, and that's where postmodern sentimentality gets true, but there's something incredibly sincere about it. If you can buy into the conceit entirely while remaining self-aware enough to know the fictive reality of your situation. I think season 4 really does that incredibly well. Season 4 was beautiful. If Dawson's Creek had ended here, I think a lot of people would be very happy. I don't hate season 5. Season 6 gives me a lot of issues until we get to the 2-part series finale written by Kevin Williamson, which I actually think is fantastic and superb. The rest of season 6 is a chore, honestly, and season 5 isn't the greatest, but I definitely don't hate it as much as most Dawson's Creek fans do. But season 4, seasons 1 through 4, this is beautiful. This is beautiful television. It's beautiful philosophy, and I can't express my gratitude enough for this show, for these episodes to be airing in my formative years. I think it informed so much about my nature and my personality, being around Dawson, Pacey, Joey, Jack, and Jen, and Andy. I think it informed so much and taught me so much about how to view the world. And I can express even more gratitude. I couldn't express enough of it to show that I'm so grateful to be revisiting these here in my early 30s. Because it's teaching me things too, and of course there's a secret validation here, but we all deserve paradise. And I think that in some way, that's not only a valid request from life, it's a reasonable one.
This could be very funny. You guys made it to the end of this video. You guys are real go-getters. I admire your stamina, your devotion, your interest. You know, it's really charming. It's really charming, and I think you deserve something fun at the end of all of that. Now, my true Dawson's Creek self is showing. I know 8 lines of this song very well. That said, there's a lot more than 8 lines, and I've actually never played it before because I never really intend to play it again. So this is just for us. Are you ready? It's just for us. So open up your morning light and say a little prayer for I know that if we are to stay alive and see the peace in every eye. Do 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 do. 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 She had 2 babies. One was 6 months, one was 3. In the war of 34 or 44, depends on how you read it, right? Every telephone ring, every heartbeat singing when she thought it was God calling her. Or would her son grow to know his father? Fuck all that noise. This is what we came here for. I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I wanna know right now, what will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Will it be yes or will it be sorry? Do 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 do. 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 He showed up all wet on the rainy front step, wearing shrapnel in his skin. And the war he saw lives inside it still. It's hard to be gentle and warm. The years pass by and now he has granddaughters. I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I wanna know right now, what will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Will it be yes or will it be sorry? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Now we get to a bridge that just is baffling to me. Oh, you look at me from across the room. You're wearing that anguish again. Believe me, I know the feeling. It sucks you into the jaws of anger. So breathe a little more deeply, my love. All we have is this moment. And I don't want to do that to his father, and his father, and his father, and his father did. Now it sounds like a violent femme song. I wanna be here now. I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I wanna know right now, what will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Will it be yes or will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I wanna know right now, what will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Will it be yes or will it be? So open up your morning light and say a little prayer for I. You know that if we are to stay alive, see the place in every eye. I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I wanna know right now, what will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Will it be yes or will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I wanna know right now, what will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Will it be yes or will it be? I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I wanna know right now, what will it be? everybody at home. I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Will it be? Yes, or will it be? Sorry. Do-do-do-do-do. 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 Thank you so much for watching. Your cult boyfriends take, analysis, insight, brilliant video about Dawson's Creek Season 4. Stick around, Season 5 is coming. I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over before we get another Your Cult Boyfriend vid. I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. He's my favorite YouTuber. Bye guys, thanks for watching. Do 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 do.